前回までのあらすじ。ショナウィックランニング会。マストのエンジニアにガルバンクのお金窃盗の証拠提供。呪われたブーツを処分するサイドミッションを受けた。科学者が心配している木の異変についてセンサーを回収して提供したのであった。
次のタスクはミッションボードで懸賞金ミッションを受けるってことなのだ。
すでに受けてなかった？
すでに受けられる懸賞金ミッション受けてるから今さらどうするのだ。まあいいか、とりあえずやってみるのだ。1個だけあるのだ。
アルファケンタウリ星系のジェミソンにヘリウムを供給だって。
供給ミッションを完了するには貨物リンクがある拠点が必要だって。
そもそも拠点立てたことないし何のことやら。
で、タスク完了になったのだ。なってねえじゃん。まあいいか。
じゃあ次はこのタスクの中からこなす感じ？
古い順だとヴァンガードへ加入する件で司令官と話すタスクやるのだ。専門家なのだ。得意分野は
？As long as there's a decent launcher on board, I can make sure all your missiles find their target.
興味あり、いくら？
No more than the average crew person's salary.
高いのだ。ちょっとキャンセル。そういえばベルで排気口入ったところにある小部屋にあるもの、盗んだら指名手配された夢を見たのだ。それが現実だったかどうかもう一度確認するのだ。ここ。あったあった。やっぱ夢で見た通りなのだ。このドアは封鎖されてるのだ。前回取るときに立って取ったから気がつかれたのだ。今回はスニーク状態で盗むのだ。スニーク状態といえば
確かステルスのスキルがあったような。
これこれ。どうやらランクごとにステルススキルが強化されるみたいなのだ。
最後のランク4だとステルス中にドア操作も気がつかれないらし
い。よし、盗む前にステルスアップ。よっしゃ、こそこそ盗むのだ。これが改造アーク溶接機なのだ。強そう。溶接機と弾ゲット。ステルスしなくてもこのシャッターを下ろしておけばよかったのだ。
またうっかりスキル発動か。
ここ通れそうなのだ。あれ、ここ前回入ったところ無理やり窓に取り付くことができるのだ。
窓の外に急にひげ生えたおっさんが張り付いてたら心臓止まる。
て一旦地上に戻っておくのだ。
次はどこ行くんだっけ？
確か司令官はマストの建物の中なのだ。
ニューアトランティスに住むにはダッシュできないとダメだなこりゃ。
どこ行くにも動線が悪すぎてダッシュが必須なのだ。これが300年後の建築なのだ。
多分今の方がマシな気がする。
お、司令官いたのだ。
What do we got here? Another applicant to the UC Vanguard? Interested in doing some good for the people of the United Colonies, all while earning your citizenship and credits to boot?
Vanguard?
We're the United Colonies volunteer fleet. Any captain can join, regardless of origin. Get to fly your own ship and earn credits as you help the people in the most distant reaches of the United Colonies, all while earning your way to UC citizenship. Put in the time, and citizenship is guaranteed.
なぜ UC の市民になりたがってると思ったのだ？
Well, other than becoming a member of the greatest faction in the galaxy, you'd get access to discounted services on any UC world, credits to help you get on your feet. You'd even be able to buy property right here in New Atlantis. Citizenship unlocks it all, and signing up for the Vanguard is the fastest way to earn it.
UC 生まれだし、もう UC 市民じゃないのだ。
Oh, well, no. UC citizenship is earned through service to the UC. Should have covered that in your civics classes. But if you're that interested, I'm happy to help you get started in applying to join the UC Vanguard right now.
面白そう。もっと聞かせろなのだ。
Glad to hear it. Signing up simple. All you've got to do is pass a fight exam and make it through one probationary mission and you're in. We'll have you working your way to UC citizenship in no time.
入隊後の仕事は？
Vanguard work is as needed. When we've got jobs, we'll make them available to you. But the work itself, well, it runs the gamut. Sometimes you might be hunting down hostile ships on behalf of the UC Navy, or you might be called up to help the Science Division clean up some invasive species. Hell, we've even been asked to help take on the occasional terramorph. And sometimes we just need cargo support. Not every job's glamorous. The Vanguard only gets called in for the ones where there's a chance of seeing action. Wherever the UC needs us, the Vanguard is there.
やるのだ。で、どうすればいいのだ？
Well, all right. Take the elevator down to the Vanguard Orientation Hall. You can get started at any of the registration terminals. The system will walk you through the rest. And if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
公民の授業を全部寝てたから何も覚えてないのだ。ヴァンガードになるための試験を受けることになったのだ。で、ヴァンガードになるためにターミナルで登録が必要らしいのだ。
ここが登録会場？
入隊同意書が必要なのだ。ミッションで死ぬかもだって。もちろん同意なのだ。
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in the orientation hall, or continue on to the examination.
ここから先は オリエンテーションホールで歴史の勉強になるので、興味ない人は飛ばしてね。
見たい人もいるだろうし、展示物見終わるまでコメントしないでおくのだ。
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies. From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more: independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House of Blue, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230. It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other. A theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Jinan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade. The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day. 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun in the name of their serpent god. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir Jarek that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remained, however, select members of House Varun who refused to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space. Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Nerion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs, even bioengineered alien creatures, the infamous UC xeno-weapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped, the Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since. Few settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nera. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nera remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
Kuso deかメックなのだ。フォールアウト4のパワーアーマーみたい。
これ乗れるのかな？さすがに乗れないか。
I can't stop staring at it. A real terramorph.
おお、これが本物のテラーモーフなのだ。キモすぎるのだ。
鍵爪があるね。秘密研究所では爪の跡があったよね。
しかしこれハンドガンで倒せるのだ。
I'm going to be a xenobiologist. It's science division or nothing.
You know it was some UC general that condemned Londinium? Gave it over to these things. One of these murals said he was executed after the war. Might have gotten off too lightly.
In the midst of the colony war, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinium. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies' war effort, Londinium found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators, the Terramorph. A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over the city, seemingly out of nowhere, on a scale never before seen in recorded history. Valiant efforts by the UC military slowed the onslaught, but the creatures proved unstoppable. Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day. After the devastation wrought by the Colony War, the UC and the Freestock Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xeno-weapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the colony war to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
結局 UC に勝ち目がないので譲歩して UC の上級将校を死刑にして手打ちにしたということかな。
かっこよき。
これ実際に UC の艦船のモデルなのかな。
It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born. An official branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be.
ヴァンガードに入ると市民権がゲットできるらしいけど、すぐなれるわけじゃなさそうなのだ。
UC 海軍のスーツね。かっこいい。
この上にあるのは UC 海軍の艦船かな。
No one is born a United Colony citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. But the UC prides itself on taking care of its people. Cost of living controls means citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems. By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.
この UC 海軍のスーツ欲しいのだ。かっこいいのだ。
展示はここまで。お疲れ様でした。時間もいいところなので続きはここから。チャンネル登録、高評価よろしくお願いします。
なのだ。
また見に来てくださいね。ではごきげんよう。